Hello, good morning, everyone. Let me be very sure that you can hear me first before we start. So if you can hear me loud and clear, can you use the emoji button to give me a wave or a thumbs up so that I'll be very sure that you can hear me. So if you can hear me, my wonderful participants, can you use the reaction button down there to give me a thumbs up or a wave? Awesome. Great. That means you can all hear me. Thank you very much. Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. And thank you very much for joining us today for the Coronation Insurance webinar on the topic, the future of insurance, emerging trends and technology. My name is Amanda Akushi, and I'll be your moderator and MC for today's session. And for the purpose of this webinar, we'll be delving into the current scope of insurance and also exploring cutting-edge technology and emerging trends that are set to transform the insurance sector. And I'm super excited about this webinar, and I know you are too. And I look forward to having an interactive session with you all as we learn, unlearn, and relearn. So if you are with me on this and you agree with me, share with me your favorite emoji. We are going to make good use of the emojis today in the reaction. So using the reaction button, if you agree with me, you are with me on this, share with me your favorite emoji for me to know that you are with me on this. Yes, people are already happy and smiling. Awesome, good. So this webinar is brought to us by Coronation Insurance. And Coronation Insurance is an insurance company in Ghana that is offering a variety of coverage options for individuals and businesses. And Coronation Insurance designs its policies to be affordable and comprehensive, protecting your assets and providing peace of mind. Underline that, peace of mind. And Coronation uses technology which makes it very convenient to get the insurance that you need and manage your policies easily. Thank you very much, Coronation Insurance, for making our lives, the lives of individuals, and the lives of businesses better. Again, if you agree with me this time around, let's appreciate Coronation Insurance with a round of applause, also using the reaction button. So I want to see the clap. Good, 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 good. Keep them coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And before we delve into our discussion for today, here's some quick overview of what you should expect from this webinar. So we'll have a keynote address from the Managing Director of Coronation Insurance, and we'll also have a presentation and a panel discussion on technology, on the current technology trends, data security, customer engagement, and the future of how insurance is expected to be. And also after the discussion, we'll have an interactive segment where you have the opportunity to ask the panelists every question that you have always had on your mind. I know most people have some questions and can't wait to ask. So whenever you want to ask a question, this is what we'll do. We have a Q&A button down there. So with regards to every question, put it in the Q&A. But then if you want to comment, if you want to interact with the discussion, if you want to interact with other participants, if you want to share your emojis with me, that one you can use the chat button to do that. So for all questions, kindly put it in the Q&A box so that I don't miss it. But with interactions, trying to confirm what panelists are saying or keynote address is given, you can use the comment section to drop your emojis and to drop all other things. So thank you very, very much. And I appreciate all of you. Once again, this webinar is brought to us by Coronation Insurance Company. So do well to stay with us till the end. And I promise you something at the end of the webinar, if only you are with me. So before we start again, let's drive straight by inviting the Managing Director of Coronation Insurance to give us the keynote address on the topic for discussion today, which is the future of insurance, emerging trends and technology. But when he's done, I will be back again to set certain modalities for the next interesting sessions. And I'll introduce our panelists for today. So if you are with me on this, I want to see the clapping emoji overflowing as we welcome Mr. Yao Adom-Boateng, the Managing Director of Coronation Insurance, for the keynote address. Join me as we welcome him with a hand of applause with the emoji. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Yao, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Amanda. Please confirm if you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, we can.
Can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much and good morning once again. I want to especially welcome you all, our distinguished, cherished customers who have joined us and everyone on the call. I want to say thank you especially to our special speakers, Alfred and Anthony, for making time to share your experience with us this morning. I notice, just like every other professional in the industry, that over the years, technological advancement has played a critical role in the transformation of several industries. But we could see from the insurance perspective that there hasn't been that much in terms of how technology is transforming our industry. According to a research done by Ernst & Young Global, there is a tendency for insurance industry to propel our penetration rate if you are able to adapt and use what you call the technological development or advancement. And this is in the areas of providing, for example, underwriting efficiency. We look at areas of providing services to our clients for claims, and also dealing with the experiences that are provided to our clients. There is also the aspect of the provision of risk management with the use of technology. So if you dive deeper into the benefits of technological advancements, I mean, we could all attest to the fact that it's one sure way of propelling our industry as a whole. And so for us as Coronation, based on our mission of transformational way of propelling what you call the industries to move forward, and more specifically our mission of providing transformational solutions to Africa's challenge, we felt it necessary to organize this webinar as a stepping stone and practically as a way of gingering conversations around how we as an industry, as a Coronation, can take advantage of what is happening technological wise to propel the developments within our industry. We believe that this is just the beginning of the conversation. We are organizing this webinar as the first phase of our conversation to interact with key stakeholders, to have a deeper understanding of what benefits we stand to gain and how well we can transform our experiences on the customer experience, side. There'll be a series of such webinars coming in the next quarters, but this is the very first we're organizing this year with the objective of gingering conversations around how we can transform our industry in particular, all in the interest and the benefit of our customers. So once again, I welcome all of us on the platform. I want to believe that at the end of the session, we would have gained insightful experiences, which will help us to deliberate more on how we could take advantage of technology to propel our industry. I thank you all very much, and I welcome you all and wish you a very fruitful deliberation. Thank you very much. Back to you, Amanda.
Thank you very much, Yao, for the keynote address. And I think we can do better by at least appreciating Yao with a hand of applause. With our emojis, again, thank you very much, Yao. And as Yao mentioned, this is just a stepping stone and a way of gingering conversation around how we can transform the insurance industry, and Coronation Insurance as the pace setter. You have to agree with me. I mean, like Coronation Insurance has started this. And we'll say thank you very much once again, Coronation Insurance, for putting this webinar together. And thank you very much, Yao, for the keynote address. We will continue. And as we move to the next session, which will be our panel discussion, what we've all been waiting for. But we have two distinguished experts with us today. But there's an interesting statistics by McKinsey and KPMG. They're saying that 75% of insurance executives believe that AI will significantly transform the industry within the next 3 years. This is an interesting statistics, and our panel will do just justice to this and also give us more information about it. So, but before we start, as I mentioned, we'll have a presentation on the topic, and then afterwards we'll have the discussion. And to give us this presentation is one of our own panelists, Alfred Ludwig Kisiedu. He's the co-founder and chief strategist of Red Pear. With a robust background in the insurance and banking industries, Alfred has made significant contributions to both fields. Alfred's initial foray into the insurance sector began with Allianz Insurance Brokers, and he later joined Ecobank Ghana Limited, where he spent nearly a decade advancing through various units, branches, and departments. During Alfred's tenure, he was very instrumental in establishing bank assurance within Ecobank Ghana Limited and transforming the bank assurance business in Unibank. His innovative efforts led to the first voice signature telesales campaign in Ghana with Case Johnson, where he changed how insurance was sold in the country. He's a notable pioneer and has driven insurance innovation, not as an insurer, but also as a banking professional who recognized the untapped potential in the industry. This should tell us the worth of knowledge that our panel really has and that Mr. Kisiedu is bringing on board. Currently, he leads an insurtech company that is pioneering the end-to-end process of buying, paying, and claiming insurance policies through messaging platforms like WhatsApp. Alfred and his team have completed a proof of concept with Old Mutual and Holland Insurance Ghana using WhatsApp to onboard customers and fulfill their insurance needs. I'm happy to have Mr. Alfred Ludwig Kisiedu join us this morning. With a hand of applause and using the reaction button, can we welcome Mr. Alfred Kisiedu to give us the presentation?
Thank you very much. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I am happy to be here, and I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to Coronation Insurance and Yao for giving me this privilege to share some few knowledge with you and then our participants as well. Please allow me to share my screen and confirm if you can see my screen. Please confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to put it in presentation mode, so just give me a second, and then let me just put it in presentation mode so it becomes clear for everybody. Awesome. Please confirm if the technical guys can enable my camera as well so that the participants can at least see my face. Okay, just a moment. All right, good. So we are set to go. The future of insurance, emerging trends and technologies. So we will look at, a moment, let me see if my slides can move. Okay. Good. We'll explore the future of insurance, the emerging trends, and then the technologies. In this presentation, We will see the future through the eyes of Kofi. Okay, Kofi is a customer in the year 2020, and we'll see how insurance looks like in that year. So this is Kofi, a customer of Coronation in the year 2030, I should say. Now, his digital personal assistant orders him a vehicle with driving capabilities for a meeting across town. That's how come you see Kofi in the car. Upon hopping into the driving car, Kofi decides he wants to drive today and moves the car into active mode. Kofi's personal assistant maps out a potential route and shares it with his mobility insurer, which immediately responds with an alternate route that has a much lower likelihood of accidents and auto damage, as well as the calculated adjustments to his monthly premium. Kofi's assistant notifies him that his mobility insurance premium will increase by 4 to 8% based on the route he selects and the volume and distribution of other cars on the road. It also alerts him that his life insurance policy, which is now priced on a pay-as-you-live basis, will increase by 2% for this quarter. The additional amounts are automatically debited from his bank account. When he moves into his destination parking lot, his car bumps into one of several parking signs. As soon as the car stops moving, its internal diagnostics determine the extent of the damage. His personal assistant instructs him to take 3 pictures of the front right bumper area and 2 of the surroundings. By the time Kofi gets back to the driver's seat, the screen on the dash informs him of the damage, confirms the claim has been approved, and reports that a mobile response drone has been dispatched to the parking lot for inspection. If the vehicle is drivable, it may be directed to the nearest in-network garage for repair after a replacement vehicle arrives. While this scenario may seem beyond the horizon, such integrated user stories will emerge across all lines of insurance with increasing frequency over the next decade. In fact, all the technologies required above already exist and are available to many customers today. Let's take Maya, for instance. Maya is a virtual assistant that has been developed by Red Pair. And what Maya does is that it connects you directly with your preferred insurer, allowing you to insure your vehicle and file claims seamlessly through WhatsApp. During the onboarding stage, what Maya does for you is that it requests your chassis number or the VIN of the vehicle you're insuring. And Maya pulls data from the manufacturer directly without you having to enter the make, the model, and the year of manufacture of the vehicle. So it automatically underwrites the process for you. Then Maya goes ahead and tells you to upload pictures of the vehicle that you're insuring. Now, what it does is that the AI compares the images of the vehicle with the manufacturer's details through the chassis, just to make sure that the vehicle you are insuring is actually the correct one, as you have indicated on the platform. Now, what Maya does for you is that as an insurer, it guarantees about 90% to 95% accuracy of the information that you are deriving from your customer. In the event of an accident, Maya will require you to put pictures of the accident vehicle on the WhatsApp platform. And what it does for you is that it actually matches the images of the accident vehicle you have placed with the original pictures that you place on the platform to make sure it's the same vehicle. What it does for you again is that when you put the images of the accident vehicle on the platform, it also checks to make sure that the images are not Photoshop. Just last week, I was having a conversation with a friend, and he mentioned to me that there's an insurtech company in Ethiopia. And please take note of the word insurtech, because we'll be delving a lot in what insurtechs are doing it, and also find out what insurtechs are actually. He mentioned to me that there's a company in Ethiopia that is currently using drones to take pictures or images of vehicles that have been involved in an accident. Now, the beauty is that when these drones take the pictures, you don't whoever is working on the claims is not waiting for the drones to come back to the office and send the images to them. No, the images are sent real time. And so the AI is able to pick all those images and begin to work on your claims for you. Now, please bear in mind that all these things that we are talking about, the future of insurance, the emerging trends, the technologies, they are all centered on something, what is the customer. So for me, the takeout for anyone listening to us today is that the future of insurance is actually the customer centricity, because all the things that we are doing is geared towards making the customer happy and delighting them, just like we had in the case of Kofi. So now let's explore. I mentioned to you that we'll talk about InsurTech. Now let's explore how InsurTech innovations are changing the insurance industry. Okay. In short, insurance technology, InsurTech refers to insurance technology, and it refers to the use of innovative technologies such as artificial intelligence, big data analytics, blockchain, and machine learning to improve and automate the traditional insurance industry. When we talk about InsurTech, there's one InsurTech that comes to mind, and some of you listening to us today might already know about Lemonade. Lemonade is a classic example of an InsurTech that has leveraged the power of artificial intelligence to transform how a policy is bought and how claims are filed and paid. During our preparation, I thought of including a video on Lemonade here, but it also occurred to me that Lemonade has been used so many times, so most of you probably might be aware of Lemonade, so I didn't bring it here. But if you haven't, after this presentation, just Google Lemonade. It has a virtual assistant also called Maya, and it's such a beautiful experience. How they have leveraged AI to transform the claim process is a delight. Within a short period of time, within 2 to 3 years, they've been able to accumulate about 3 million users or customers on their platform. And that is the power of the InsurTech and the use of technology. Yes, we've mentioned Lemonade and the AI tool that they use. So now InsurTechs around the world are changing the insurance industry, and they're using tools like the AI, artificial intelligence, which we just spoke about, in automating underwriting and claims processing. They make it more efficient and more accurate. It's such a beautiful thing. Others are also using the blockchain technology. Okay, and the InsurTechs are using blockchain technology to transform insurance through increased security and transparency. Gentleman that we did an acceleration program with in Kenya, okay, and he is into marine insurance, where you're moving goods from Kenya and other sub-Saharan African countries to Europe, and they use blockchain technology to be able to give you information. They manage, and there's fraud. They use it to prevent fraud and all that. It's such a beautiful thing that InsurTechs are doing. Then we talk about the Internet of Things, or IoT. Now, this provides real data through connected devices, just like we saw in the case of Kofi, okay, where the drone is taking pictures, the diagnosis in the car are taking all the information. All these things are transferred in real time. So we have sensors that you can fix in a home or factories to help in preventing losses and managing claims more effectively. For all this to be possible, data is very important. So we're going to see how data analytics and predictive modeling in enhancing risk management and claims are also done. So we'll showcase some data-driven insights, okay, in decision making. Predictive analytics. By analyzing the historical data and trends, insurers can predict future risks more accurately. And, you know, this is not far-fetched. The data already sits with you, the insurers, because you've been doing this business for a long time. You have data that stretch back to 5, 10, 20, 30 or more years. You know who is buying your insurance policy. You know those who claim every year. You know those who are not claiming. All the information is there. All we need to do is just structure the information, and we can be able to apply the science and tech to it to be able to analyze the trends. so that you can predict the future risks more accurately, leading to better pricing and risk management strategies. For instance, currently, there's a platform around that Swiss Re has, and I'm sure most of you insurers already have, that captures the flood-prone areas in Ghana, for instance. So if you're insuring an asset, a house or a factory, it can tell you whether this area is a flood-prone area. And so this information helps you to be able to assess the risk properly and price the premium to reflect the risk that you're exposed to. All these things are there. Now, the admonition that I'll give the insurance professionals here is that that data that you have that is sitting down there, that is unstructured, let's structure it. We can help you to put more meaning to that data. We can look at the data, structure it so that we can have this predictive analytics applied to it to make more sense to you and for you to price risks more appropriately. Let's talk about telematics. In auto insurance, telematics devices monitor driving behavior. And these things has been going on for a long period of time now. It's all part of the IoT, the Internet of Things, where simple devices are put into vehicles to monitor drivers' behavior, allowing insurers to offer customized premiums based on actual risk profiles. I already anticipate a question coming up later that, well, in our industry, risk premiums or motor insurance premiums are tariff-based. They're not risk-based. That is true. In some markets, motor insurance premiums are risk-based. So these telematics and IoT makes a lot of sense. That is true. But even in our setting, I know of an insurtech that is currently partnered with a traditional insurer, and they're going to introduce telematics into the markets very shortly. And it's a beautiful thing. They're going around the regulation or the regulation environment to be able to make sure that they apply some of these technologies for the customers in there. Now, let's also explore practical examples of how emerging technologies like drones and sensors are also driving change in the insurance sector. We've spoken about some of them. We've spoken about drones, for instance, and we saw how, in the case of Kofi, the customer in 2030, how the drones came, took pictures, and then the information was relayed in real time. I also spoke about the insurtech company in Ethiopia that my friend hinted me on, where they are using the drones to also take pictures and they're assessing damage efficiently and accurately after a disaster. And apart from that, it's being used widely, providing real-time aerial imagery to expedite claims. We can talk about sensors in factories. We are still talking about the IoT, the Internet of Things. You can install sensors in factories to manage climate, water, energy, and security. And this provides real-time data to prevent losses and improve efficiency. Then we have smart homes. They also use apps for security, lighting, temperature control, and appliance management, reducing risks and improving insurance coverage. We've already spoken about the blockchain in marine insurance, where I shared experience with a gentleman that we had an acceleration program with in Kenya, for instance, and he's used blockchain in the space of marine, where they're using it to manage identity, data, fraud, and transactions, and securing transactions, and ensuring transparent record keeping and reducing fraud. And mind you, apart from Lemodage, which is in advanced markets, all the examples I have drawn are in emerging markets. Emerging markets like Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, and these technologies are already available in our markets. We've heard of driverless cars, and we know what driverless cars can do. Okay, now the potential is that driverless cars can reduce accidents and enable usage-based policies by using advanced sensors and AI for navigation, also lowering insurance costs. Like the example we saw in Kofi's case, he was able to tell Kofi to use an alternative route where the cars on that road are fewer, and so the likelihood of an accident is slim, etc. Now, in my conversation with the MD of Coronation, then he asked me that, Alfred, how practical, I mean, how soon can we expect, we think that we can have driverless cars on our roads? You know, looking at the fact that some of our addresses are not even found on Google Maps. I said, well, you have a point there, but don't be surprised that tomorrow we can hear that there's a driverless car around East Legon. Okay, so these things are here. They're not far-fetched, and we need to be prepared for these things. Now we're coming back to the customer experience. And remember, I mentioned that all these things we are considering, the future of insurance, the trends and the technological advancement and all these things, they are geared towards delighting the customer. So customer centricity, for me, is a takeaway for you for this presentation. Everything that we are doing is focused on improving customer integrations and customer satisfaction in this age of advanced technology. And so for you to be able to delight your customers, insurance companies should make it easier to allow customers to interact with them by using various channels. And now if you look at our market, now most insurance companies have mobile apps. They have websites you can visit, and they have social media platforms you can also go and interact with them. And notably, now most of the insurance companies are also leveraging the power of the messenger apps. Now the messenger apps like the WhatsApp, the Vibers and all the rest X, it's not just for messaging, but it can be used for financial transactions. And we see how insurance companies in Ghana are leveraging on this part. What you're doing is that when you use these messenger platforms, you acknowledge the fact that the customers are already at your comfort zone. So you are prepared to move into your comfort zone to be able to offer them the services that you provide, and also to ensure that they can also reach you easily. And this is what we're doing very well in emerging markets. And this helps them to ask questions. They can also make changes to their policy, okay, using platforms that are most convenient to them. Now we have personalized products. Insurers also need to rely on data. And we've already talked about the predictive data analytics. We've talked about how important it is for you to structure your data. When you structure your data, then you'll be able to come up with personalized products for your customers. And these things are not far-fetched. Most of us here would have watched a movie on Netflix. Okay. Now, if you watch a movie on a streaming platform, the next time it is suggesting to you that based on the movie you watched the other time, or the movie that you just watched, they are suggesting to you that these movies might be of interest to you. And that is where insurance companies should be heading towards. The ability to be able to look at the data, analyze it, and predict and come up with personalized products that are fit for your customers. As we talk about this, we also need to look at climate change and how the insurance industry is addressing the risks in climate and adopting sustainable practices. Already, you remember in a few minutes ago, I mentioned the Swiss Re's platform that helps you to be able to identify the flood-prone areas in Ghana, for instance. And it tells you, it gives you a historical data of when last a flood occurred in a particular area and the probability of another flood occurring. So what this helps you as an insurer is that you are pricing based on the risks that are available to you, based on the data, so you can price appropriately. Okay, so the premiums reflect the risks that you are going into. And all this technology exists. It's not far-fetched. Okay. Now, as insurers, you can also adopt sustainable practices. You could engage in green technologies, and you can also encourage your users, okay, to use eco-friendly behaviors among your customers. Okay, it mitigates against the impact and promotes long-term sustainability. Then, for all this to be possible, for us to be able to meet the customer Kofi in 2030, there's a need for you to also look at your future workforce and skills development. So you need to explore the changing workforce landscape and the need for upskilling in a technology-driven environment. This is very key. Otherwise, you're going to fall off. And this is not negotiable. You're going to fall off if you do not, as technology evolves, you do not ensure that your workforce continuously updates their skills to keep up with the tools and industry changes. So we're talking about continuous learning. So professionals must engage in lifelong learning to keep up with rapid technological advancements. Evolving job roles. Now, I have stopped having discussions about or around whether AI is going to take, whether AI is going to take away jobs or some jobs in the industry or not. It is happening. And it's going to happen more quickly than we even thought. So there's a need for us to be able to evolve. So job roles in the insurance area are changing due to automation and artificial intelligence. Okay, so necessitating new skills and expertise. Look at Maya. I mentioned to you that the whole process of underwriting is automated, where it is pulling information from manufacturers, vehicle manufacturers, ensuring that your underwriting process is about 90 to 95% accurate. So really, very soon, underwriting departments would have to downsize. How are you evolving? How are you positioning yourself to stay relevant? And we have talent acquisition. Now, what insurers should be doing is that in your strategy sessions, in your 5-year strategic plans, you should be planning on how to acquire talent, attracting and retaining skilled talent. And that is vital for your survival. Because if you don't, you're going to be out of business, and it is non-negotiable. Okay, it's not negotiable. Now, as you look at getting the talent acquisition, you also need to look at the remote work adaptation. Now, we've moved beyond the era where I need to see you work. No. For instance, with where I work, I have colleagues that I have seen once in 4 years or 3 years. I have colleagues that I have never met before in person, but we work every day. We are online, we are on platforms, we are working, and the job is being done. Can you look at the rise of remote works that requires new skills for effective virtual collaboration and communication? Because that talent acquisition that you're acquiring, they'll be more interested in the remote work environment rather than coming to sit in the office at 8 o'clock and closing at 5 p.m. It doesn't work for them. So how are you changing to be able to adapt yourself for the future so you can still be in business and provide service to Kofi in 2030? Then we're talking about technological proficiency, mastery of emerging technologies like data analytics, AI, and digital tools, the things that we have spoken about. Then we have the soft skills development, okay, enhancing soft skills, problem solving, adaptability. So how can you adapt? Emotional intelligence is also crucial. So all these things are critical if today's insurance company is going to make sure that they stay relevant in the year 2030 and be able to provide services to Kofi. Now we've come back to InsurTech and we're looking at collaboration. Because see, let's go back here. Let's go back to, for you to be able to achieve this, it will take a long period of time for the traditional insurers. That is why we have added this slide here that talks about the collaboration with InsurTech. So instead of you looking at the InsurTech as a threat, don't look at them that way. Look at them from a pair of eyes as complementary. They can complement what you're doing. Okay, because the future workforce and skills development, you need partnership with the InsurTech because they are way advanced. They are way advanced in leveraging innovative technologies and solutions that can enhance your offers and streamline your operations. We've already spoken about artificial intelligence and all that. The InsurTech have access to cutting-edge technology. What we do is that we eat and breathe emerging technologies. We are always researching, finding the latest trend, the latest technology on how to improve customer experience. There's a survey that was done some years ago, and that asked respondents whether they will be happy or they will be okay to buy an insurance policy from some of the world big tech companies. And we're looking at Amazon, we're talking about Facebook, we're talking about Google. And about 90% of the respondents said, yes, they'll be comfortable to buy insurance policies from these big giants. You know why? Because the big tech giants are the ones who are driving user experience on mobile applications, and on the internet. Look at how time flies or passes by so easily when you are on Facebook or when you're on Twitter or X and you're just flipping through an end on videos, listening to comments or reading comments and all that before you realize an hour or two is gone. So when these users come to the insurance space, they are expecting the same user experience from these digital platforms. They're not expecting anything less. So if you can't give them that same experience, then you're not in business. That is why there's a need to partner these insurtechs, because they have the cutting edge technology. Then we'll hammer again. This cutting edge technology, this enhanced user experience will drive your customer centricity, because that is the future. So it will enhance your customer experience. And that is where the solution that the insurtechs offer. Then we're talking about operational efficiency. We go back to Maya, where Maya is picking data from vehicle manufacturers directly. It's also making sure that the pictures that the customer is uploading onto your platform is checking whether these images are not photoshopped. So it is taking care of fraud for you. It's cutting a lot of waste in your system. So your operational efficiency is enhanced. And that is what the insurtechs will bring to you. And we're talking about data-driven insights. We've said a lot about this. And I shared the example of what the streaming platforms are doing, like example, Netflix. Okay, you can leverage big data and predict analytics, and you can ensure or offer your customers better products through the better decision-making and risk management decisions that you make. Happily in Ghana, we'll talk about regulations and a new insurance act. Happily in Ghana, the regulator has taken steps, because the regulator also recognizes that, look, the future is here. Because mind you, the things that we spoke about, Kofi, about our customer in 2030, these are technologies that we are using today. And the regulator, instead of playing a catch-up, now wants to take a leading role. So there's a new insurance act, which most of you are already aware. Now, the new insurance act currently in Ghana recognizes the role of insurtechs. Yes, they do. And now they're providing guidelines within the new insurance act on how insurtechs should also operate within the space to provide innovative solutions, with also the overarching objective, or the strategic objective of ensuring that we are increasing the insurance penetration in our side of the world. And with that, they've been able to come up with their sandbox. And I'm sure most of you are aware that this week, the regulator has announced 5 insurtechs, which RegPair is part, to be able to offer innovative solutions in the market, products, just to propel the advancement of technology in the insurance space. And from now to the next 12 months, we're all looking to see the interesting solutions that we see on the market and how this can translate into improving the insurance penetration in our market, and also placing our markets up there that we're having innovative solutions. Now, with the organizations I work with, I get the opportunity to travel around across Africa. And most of the solutions that we have here in Ghana, you'll be surprised that you go to other markets, similar emerging markets, like markets that are technology driven, Nairobi and Cape Town, and the sort of technology that we have, that we are using, you don't have it. Okay, so I think the regulator has put us on a good footing to make sure that we enhance what we have and also translate into making sure that we meet the future, to make sure that we come up with more innovative solutions to increase insurance penetration here in Ghana. Good. So we'll be ending, and what have we said? So the insurance industry should embrace the technological advancement, and it should shift towards a more digital and data-driven approach. And when they do, both the insurers and customers will benefit from enhanced efficiency, personalized experiences, and improved risk management. Because don't forget, it's all about customer centricity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alfred. Thank you very much. Yes, Oh, you are doing the work so well. So you see, I've not even asked you with the emoji of the hand of applause. You are doing it for me. That's so great. Thank you very much, my ladies and gentlemen. And I can't wait for the Q&A. As I said, feel free and drop your Q&A questions, your questions in the Q&A function or the box. And I'll jump straight to you, my wonderful participants, and take the questions. But we are jumping straight to the panel discussion, and I can't wait to introduce our second panel. And his name is Mr. Anthony Angmo. He's an IT solution engineer and implementer, a passionate and great people's person with exceptional acumen in IT solution engineering, business development, and leadership, providing services to the financial, insurance, manufacturing, government, telecom, and more. He employs creativity, innovation, and make it happen philosophy in engineering cutting-edge solution. He's a desired company. Ladies and gentlemen, help me with a hand of applause, with an emoji, as we welcome Mr. Anthony Angmo on our panel this morning.
All right.
Hi,
Okay.
Anthony. How you doing?
I'm good. Amanda, thank you. Hey, Doc, thank you. Our super chief. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share. I'll use Alfred's words, some small knowledge and experience I have also acquired over the years. And to all our participants, thank you also for being here. I will start this way. Really, I'm excited about this whole topic, okay? Looking at the emerging trends or technologies and the future of the insurance industry. There are some things I've been trying to voice out to the authorities that we can actually do, in our country, more like a pace-setter mindset, okay? And fine, I'm thankful that Alfred has already shared, more about focus, how do we get the customers, maintain them, and all that. But I wanted to look at the aspect that looks at how, as a regulator or as a nation, we can actually maximize these available technologies today, okay? Not just in profiting the insurance industry, but as a whole nation, okay? And so one, I take my experience from telematics, okay? Merging them with AI, okay? Now, so let's break it down. This is what I want to do, to break it down and then see the value proposition when we merge these two together. So fundamentally, telematics will just do sensoring, telecommunication, softwares, or just, GPS, and then kind of give you more information about location and behavior and all that. Okay, that's one. Then we take AI that is looking at, historical data, looking at algorithms, then also adding machine learning. Now, when you merge all these together, that is where the excitement begins. What happens? Now, let's take, like Alfred said, Kofi's car, okay? Number one, now, Kofi, my assumption is based on a nation that has regulated that every vehicle driven on our street must fulfill certain requirements. Okay, so now it's not like we're leaving it to the people to do what they can do or best effort. No, we are rather looking at what is the standard we're setting for ourselves as a country. Okay, so now a vehicle must enter our street. What are the requirements? Okay, of course, it's high level, but again, it's a decision. Once you take the decision, all the other requirements flow in easily. So number one, we plug in the telematics part of it. We have sensors that we install on the vehicle, okay? There are communication devices that we install on the device, on the vehicle. There are softwares that, pull the data from the vehicle, okay, and then transmits it to the computerization section, let's say the AI division. Now, what is happening now? Now we can actually make sense, use historical data. We then use the algorithms that are available to us. We use the machine learning, capabilities that these AI boxes will have. Then what happens? One, we can then determine basically where the vehicle is, how fast is this vehicle driving, okay? Is the vehicle actually compliant with the road speed limits, okay? Is the driver okay, all right? Is he normal, all right? Who is driving beside this driver or this vehicle, okay? How is the other driver behaving? All right, so literally at a glance, either it is the regulator or the insurance company, they know and they have real-time information. What is happening? If there is an attempt or possibility of an accident, immediately you all begin to get a beep. Okay, so this is where we talk about the predictive analytics. So the AI can already pick from these sensors on the vehicle that, hey, something is going to happen, okay? So there are two things. Either the driver is immediately stopped. I mean, my car actually uses a device like that, okay? If we allow it, it can actually stop it, literally stop my car, okay? Or it begins to blow, this alarm, over you that, hey, something wrong is going to happen, all right? Now, beauty is the insurance company's monitoring center can actually see that something is going to go wrong. Now, what does this do? It puts the driver absolutely in control and also holds the driver responsible. Okay, so number one, either the policy states that under certain circumstances, the car will be immobilized, for example, okay? Or they'll just, whatever but the policy must capture something. Now, with that, you are able to, number one, protect the life of the driver and other vehicles in the place. But even if it is allowed that they actually move on and there is an accident, for example, what happens is that now the insurance companies themselves, let's say vehicle A is with insurance company A, and then vehicle B is with insurance company B. Immediately, they all know who is responsible. Okay, so we are not now going to wait for the police, and then when the police comes around, hey, Charlie, you know me, they give money, then the police will, make the one who's actually at fault to be rather than, this is not going to happen. Why? Because there is actual data. Okay, you were moving on this line, you switched, and the graph shows that you switched. Okay, so no matter what the police says, we bring the actual data. So, like he said, so a drone can actually fly on the scene, take pictures. Before you get there, the whole thing has already been processed. Okay, so this is what we can actually now, what is the value of this? When we achieve this, number one, every driver is careful. And so what is that doing? It's minimizing or literally, possibly eliminating accidents, reducing deaths on our roads, okay? And you can have sanity on our roads. Again, some of the vehicles we even drive on our roads, we all know that these vehicles don't qualify to drive, but they do drive, okay? But the question is, who is insuring them? Why are they on the street when we know they are not roadworthy? We'll take care of all this. There is another value proposition that I see that to me is just awesome. Imagine that you have your vehicle traveling on the road, you don't have any insurance. But because of the system in place, we can literally pick you up. A vehicle just drove by this intersection, they don't have any insurance. Police, the nearest standpoint is alerted. of a vehicle, because all the other vehicles moving, they've been identified where they have insurance worthiness and so on and so forth. So immediately the police, of course, they like that. They like people who have not complied, and the police immediately can jump at it. So literally, you're driving on our streets, you must have it. You must have it, and when if we put these mechanisms in place, like I said before, for insurance, and this is why I said the excitement for the future. For insurance shareholders, the value of their share is going to really rise. Why? Because everybody is mandated to pay, register or insure their vehicles. The accidents are going to be low. So claims are not going to come in that many times. Okay. And then what is also happening? We have proper vehicles on our roads. Okay. Less accidents and less deaths. The country is sound. We are in a better footing, and so on and so forth. Okay. So I look at it this way, that if we are able to fully maximize telematics and AI, we have a holistic package that we can actually use, not just, in fact, it has other values that other value propositions that we can actually have as a nation. But what I'm saying is that the value is big, okay, to control. Even when you come to the house, predictive analytics, you can tell when somebody is coming to steal, easily. So for me, when I look at it, even though people say, oh, if you have money, why would you put it in insurance? The way I see technology going right now, insurance shareholders are actually going to have a lot of money in the future. And so I will actually say to shareholders, rather push for the adaptation of these technologies. And then, like Alfred said, the regulator in Ghana, I see that is really interested in technology. Let's push the regulator to standardize certain things. Not just like, okay, you should do it, but it's actually a standard that we all, like in Singapore, it's mandatory to have a camera in your vehicle. It's standard. When anything happens to your vehicle, the police will first look at your camera before they start anything. So it's mandatory, you see. So let's have certain things standardized, okay, that this is how we are going. And lastly, I almost forgot this, it's going to create jobs. So for the parties that are interested, I know that, with all the campaigning going on in politics, the election, they're going to talk about creating job. I'm telling you, this is job creation. It's going to create so many jobs. Okay, so if you have, you are interested and you want to know how to do it, please contact Super Chief Dr. Yao, and he's going to assemble all of us, and we're going to share the ideas with you, how we're going to make this. It's already designed, it's there. We just need people to come and implement it. Thank you. Thank you.
Very much. Thank you very much, Anthony. Thank you. I think I need it. The fact that you say, during accidents, you're not now going to wait for the police to come and do the markings on the floor.
No.
Like you are sorted, the peace of mind.
Yeah.
Everybody's clapping for it. It's like nobody wants to wait for any markings to be done on the floor. So yes, I really understand. For those of us who just joined, the discussion is on the future of insurance, emerging trends, and technology. And this webinar is brought to us by Coronation Insurance. Coronation Insurance is an insurance company in Ghana, offering a variety of coverage options for individual and businesses. And Coronation Insurance designs its policies to be affordable and comprehensive, protecting our assets and providing peace of mind. Coronation uses technology and makes it convenient to get the insurance to you, and also assess and also give you opportunity to handle your needs. And as Alfred said earlier on, we need to meet Kofi in 2030. So the agenda is we are meeting Kofi in 2030, and the future of insurance is geared towards customer centricity. We will come to that. Alfred also mentioned we have to, adapt to remote work. And when he said that, I saw the way people were clapping, so that I don't have to see in the office. Alfred, that one, you've energized some people, they want to stay in the house and work, but we'll also discuss that. But Anthony, I want to come to you first. With all that we've discussed with analytics, having the data, we need to invest in research and development and to be able to foster a culture of innovation within the company that will be able to help insurers stay ahead of the curve and also stay competitive. It means that we need to continuously innovate. But then what are some of the challenges that insurance companies face whilst implementing new technology when it comes to this whole research and development, and how can they overcome it?
Okay, so I will approach it this way. I personally see where the bottleneck is. Okay, so let's take it that the commission or the government, whether it's a national project or national agenda, let's take it that way, is a national agenda, okay? And you have the regulator has already bought into it, and they have laid out, okay, the requirement, okay, for every company, every insurance company to follow, to onboard a customer, okay? Now, if these things are done, then you don't have any excuse, okay? Now, the thing about research and development is that, like Alfred said, the truth is, I started using certain telematics like, 5, 6 years ago. So the technology is actually there. They're actually there. Most of them are there already. Okay, so like I heard you say use the term proof of concept. Okay, the thing is to adapt them, do some kind of investigation into them, and then adapt them to our environment. Most of the technologies already exist. So maybe if we could create what we call labs to experiment how we want to, for example, if we want to ensure that we are able to have real-time vehicle information relayed to us, and even set up an accident as a case, okay? Just set it up and then see. So you create centers, that you can actually simulate these things together. If it is a national wheel, that's why my contribution is focusing there. If there is a national will to do that, it becomes much easier. Okay. So for me, I actually don't think that what we're talking about is so far-fetched. It's already there. It's a thing about having the will to do it. And then we say, this is where we're going. And then we start. That's how I see it.
Alfred, you mentioned something about this whole technology and driving technology in insurance as towards customer centricity. And we all accept and understand that technology is expected to enhance the experience of our customers and also help businesses to streamline their processes. But then most customers don't think that way. They think businesses really don't have them in mind when they are deploying technology. And they are much more concentrated around the business than the customers. So there was an interesting conversation on social media recently where someone said he doesn't believe in this AI and chatbot. Why? His reason is that he said he was on social media platform and an insurance company popped up, and it was a weekend. And he interacted with the chatbot with a question and asked, what type of life insurance product do you have? And the answer he had was, visit our website for more information. And then he asked himself, I know the website is there, but why did I come there? So why did you pop this up? So Alfred, what would you advise insurance companies as you are leveraging on AI, as you are leveraging, especially on WhatsApp as a chatbot as well, for us to stay customer-centric so that we really have the customer at heart so that we can meet Kofi in 2030?
Okay, thank you for the question. See, every technological platform that an insurance company launches, there's a starting point. You need to start from the customer first. Research, what do they want? Okay, now we have advanced in the natural language processing, where some of these things that you spoke about, where the person goes on social media platforms and then sees pop-up and then tries to chat with the bot and it says go to the websites. Now we've advanced where the technology or the bot or the AI can be able to tell you more about the question. And in fact, another research also indicates that in as much as AI is progressing, in as much as we've advanced with technology, people still want to have some interaction with humans. So do you know what we have done? Now, what we have done is that for one particular insurer that we partnered with, we realized the need for customers to still have some human contact. So on their WhatsApp platform with their bot, if the customer you referred to had come on that platform and wanted to know more about the policies, there's an option where a human agent actually breaks the conversation of the bot and interacts with you directly and is able to tell you a bit more, something that probably might take a bit of time for the bot to be able to process and give you a response. So the live agent is able to converse with you and give you all the information that you require to be able to make a decision and follow up. So really, just to summarize, anything that we want to do, we need to start from the customer's point of view. How do they want this solution to be provided? Then we can begin to build. That is why in my presentation, I made it very clear that partnership with the insurtechs is key because they are well advanced in these things, okay, to be able to help the insurers position themselves to delight the customer so that we don't have the unfortunate incidents that we had that you just spoke about, okay. But the technology exists. The natural language processing is way advanced where we can take care of some of these things.
Alfred, Anthony, what do you want to add to this?
I think it's fine. Yeah, the bit about I was deploying a banking solution and this thing about the human factor came in because especially it's money, and I want to be sure that so some people are really still a little bit skeptical. Yeah, maybe insurance it's not that complex as it relates to bank, okay, but it's actually the same. At the end of the day, you still have to pay money, all right, but the human touch as much as possible must not be eliminated. It must appear somewhere unless of course we have gotten the technology perfected to a point that literally it just happens automatically. Until we are there, I think we must not completely eliminate the human, touch, yeah.
Thank you very much. And so reminding you, you can use the Q&A button to drop your questions and we will answer them. So we have some questions in the question box. So someone is asking, how can an organization achieve or get to know that they are customer-centric so that they would be able to position their customers as well? Because some people are still wondering, how can they be customer-centric to think of the customer in deploying these technologies? Alfred, should I start with you?
That's fine. Well, do a simple research. Do a simple poll. Ask your customers, those who are buying your policies. Tell them to give you their honest opinion on how easy it is to buy a policy on any of your digital platforms, and then ask them, how is feedback like? Do you respond quickly? And then don't be afraid to go to the real funny issues. For insurance companies, look, claims is insurance, really. And I keep telling the insurers that insurance is a promise. It's just like you meet a beautiful lady and you tell the lady you're going to marry her. Now, when the time comes to fulfill that promise, that is what makes you a gentleman, by walking your talk. So in buying an insurance policy, you have promised me that in the event that there's a risk, you're going to compensate me. So ask them, how is our claim experience, or how is your claim experience with us like? Okay, how quickly do we settle claims? That is not the time during the claim process that you're coming to tell me that I need to provide A, B, C, D and information. When I was buying the policy, you didn't tell me that. Okay, so ask them about their claim experience with you. When you're able to conduct this research and gather it, then you'll be able to know whether you're focusing on the customer or you're just merely interested in taking their money or their premiums. Okay, that is how you get to know whether you are preparing for the future. Because really, customer centricity is everything. And all insurers, and it goes beyond insurers, just like Anthony mentioned, the banks, everybody is focused on the customer. So if we cannot be able to provide these basic things and find out what the customer really needs, then we have no future. So concentrate on the customer, do your research, and then you can move from there.
Okay. Anthony, that's your question. We have
can I say something quick about this?
Yes, please, you can.
Yeah, so you know, there is a policy we used to use, we call it the 3-step approach. Okay, so if you use that, basically it guides you. Now, no matter what your customers say, you must put it in a simple 3-step. Okay, in other words, no matter how complex the whole thing is, make it just 3 times. You know, do 1, 2, 3. They should be able to get there. Okay, so but that takes some work, okay, to really engineer your backend, you know, into the interface. We deployed years ago a solution, and it was for university. And when we met the lecturers, one said, look, I don't even need training to use this solution, you know. And for me, I said, that is what we wanted to achieve, that you don't need training to actually do it. And it takes a lot to actually achieve that. But, you know, you understand how everything works, you know, and you use that information and then you actually, you know, present it to the people. So for me, this is what I'll say. If they don't need you to get the job done or to make their claim, that is the highest mark of your what do I say? Of your outreach or presentation to your customers. If they don't, it's difficult, but if they don't need you, if you can work it out to a point that they don't need you to get the either to buy a policy or to make a claim, that is the deal. Yeah.
That is the deal. If your customers just have to go through the 3 steps. So just if you forget everything, don't forget these 3 steps. If they're able to go through the 1, 2, 3, get it so easy to be done, then that is the deal. So we have another question here that says generative AI is creating new risk and new costs of loss that impacts not only the insurers themselves, but also their business partners, such as third-party vendors and digital supply chains. Recent events and court cases highlight the developing forms of risks associated with generative AI, including copyright, trademarks, patents infringements, discrimination, and defamation. How can insurers address these AI risks? Which of you would want to take this?
Okay. Albert, do you want to take the lead?
Okay, let me take that. You know, we are still figuring out the whole artificial intelligence bit. Now, if you remember, quite recently, was it last year or early parts of this year, there was a big conference in America where the Prime Minister of the UK, the President of America was there, and some European heads were there. And they also invited the big tech heads. So Elon Musk was there, Zuckerberg was there, and all of them, so that they can discuss and put together a certain regulatory framework to be able to guide how AI should be treated, okay, the ethics, the morality, and all these things. So it's something that we're still figuring out. It's not just about the insurance industry. So the whole world is still figuring out how to manage the risk that is coming from this new technology, okay? So it's a learning process. And as we go along, we're going to figure it out. I'll give you a classic example again. Last year, there was a very protracted and long is a demonstration, no, a workout in Hollywood, where most of the script writers and then actors decided that they were not going to work anymore because the big movie industries, okay, can now use AI to replicate what they do. Okay, and an argument is that, look, once you're using my character, once you're using my voice, my face, then you need to compensate me. But the big movie houses said, no, we're not going to pay. So it was a huge protracted dispute between these two parties. But at the end of the day, we were able to sit down and figure out something so that everybody walks away in a win-win situation. So yes, we recognize that the risk is coming. And as we move along, we'll figure it out. The last example before Anthony comes in, again, is mobile money. We had to advance in mobile money before Bank of Ghana even brought regulations on how to govern and regulate mobile money. Okay, so sometimes technology precedes some of these things, but as the risk comes and as we go ahead, we figure it out and then we sort it out nicely.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I will add that, as solution designers and implementers, there is what we call the modular approach in implementation of solutions. Yeah. So is AI good? Yes. All right. Are there risks associated with it? Yes. So how do we proceed? I think that we should choose the modular approach. The modular approach basically will mean this. As we are in Ghana today, what are the features we will need in our insurance engagement or, activities, operations that will not introduce a lot of these associated risks with AI, okay? In other words, we can implement the modular form where we are not adapting everything, but, we are adapting a portion that we can securely, to say, okay, or reliably. I believe that the implementation should be gradual. Okay, so we take one portion, we implement it, we run it over a period of time. Then we also look at the next module, okay? Can we work on this well to the point where we are satisfied that it's not going to increase the risk? So I believe that it should be a systematic approach, okay? Not adapt everything, and then later on, you don't even know what caused the error. Okay, no, we don't want that. So I believe that we should do the modular approach step by step. And some of these can actually be defined in the overall implementation path. Okay, so stage one, we just want to achieve this. Okay, and so that we keep it at that scope and not try to bite more than we are actually ready to process. Okay, so I think that we should choose that approach. Like Alfred said, a whole lot about it is actually not even known yet, and actually a lot of frameworks are still being worked on. So it should not be in our interest to adapt fully. Then we say, oh yeah, we have it. No, I think we should go little by little. Let's take a module, process it, work it, test it. We're okay, implement that. Okay, then we look at the next gradually, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I have a question here that says that how do we foresee the role of human agents evolving in the insurance industry as technology advances? So with the whole talk about technology trends, how do we see the role of human agents evolving in the industry, in the insurance industry? Alfred?
Let me take this first. I mentioned that no matter how advanced we get, you can't take the human factor completely out of the picture. And that is a simple truth that we all need to recognize. So last year, I had the privilege of doing a presentation at Serene Hotel in the Volta region, where the professionals in the insurance industry discuss AI and its impact on the industry. Okay, and I could sense, for instance, that the brokers were especially skeptical about the use of the artificial intelligence, AI, the Internet of Things, and then the rise of the insurtechs. And I calmed them down. And what I told them was that, look, it's a collaborative approach. Because you see, they have the customers. The insurtechs, we don't have the customers, but they do. The customers trust them. Because the perception is that insurance is too labor intensive. So what the approach that we as an insurtech, we have taken, that I see other insurtechs are also taking, is that let us collaborate and work together. Okay, because we still need the human factor in there. And no matter how advanced we get with the natural language processing, it's not everything that the virtual assistant or the chatbot can be able to explain. That is why we need the human factor. So for us, we have developed systems for agents and for brokers to be able to use and manage their customers well in an effective way. So that in 2030, if Kofi wants to still buy his insurance policy through an intermediary, Kofi can still do that and will still have access to the best technology available. So the approach is partnership, is collaboration. Then we can be able to achieve the desired outcome that we're looking for. So we can't take the human factor out.
Okay, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I will just add shortly that, you know, I think in our first presentation, there's something he said about more like new roles. Okay. I think India did something quite interesting. When they started, you know, they went on the automation drive where they took a lot of the paperwork from the environment. They didn't lay off the people, interestingly. They rather created new roles for those same people. Now, the government achieved two things. One, they gave the people new line of jobs to do, but they achieved the effectiveness they wanted to achieve, which wasn't achieved before. Okay, so in other words, now the government can make more money and still pay the people the same money, but they are, so everybody is happy. Okay, so I believe that one of the things, and it cuts across every industry actually, we may have to now design new programs. Okay, if you take somebody's manual job and you automate that job, what can that person be useful in doing? Okay, we need to find a way to create that role, okay, so that the person can still be useful somehow whilst we make more value from the same operation. Now, I know globalists are more interested in laying off people fast so they can just increase profit, you know, but I think we have to look at the social aspect of it as well, you know. So it's a bigger dream. And I think the earlier we start, the better. I think we're not doing badly. We can do better. Yeah.
Very much. I have quite a number of questions and our time is fast spent. Let me see the ones I can pick so that we take advantage of it. So I have a question here that says, how can insurance companies help to improve the current claim process where customers are being tossed around when it comes to claims? Customers are saying that insurance needs to meet Kofi at 2030. They need to be ready. And so how can insurance companies, how can they improve their current claim by leveraging on AI so that customers are not being tossed around when it comes to claims? Alfred mentioned something like that. So Alfred, maybe you should start this with us.
Sure. There are claims platforms, for instance, and we have deployed similar solutions in the market for other insurers, where you're giving simplicity to the customer to be able to register a claim on, for instance, on WhatsApp. Very simple. Okay. And then you're able to update the customer at every significant milestone. Okay. So once the claim is registered, a notification goes to the customer that, hi, Anthony, we have received your notification, your your claims, okay? And we are using this to acknowledge receipt. Now, because of the use of technology, now the images, and now we're using AI to also assess the extent of damage on vehicles, to be able to assess the risks, whether the part should be replaced or can be repaired. All these things fast track the claim process, okay? And then on the same platform, you have every claim officer who has been assigned a claim to work on. And they have what you call it, they have what we call a monitoring time. So most insurance companies now should be able to divide transactions that come in. In the bank, we used to have what we call straight-through processing. Okay, I think the insurance companies should be able to have something similar. And in fact, they do. Some insurers have what they call same-day claim processing, where they're able to pay maybe amounts between 10,000 and below on the same day. These are things that you can put in place to make sure that at least you are satisfying the customer. Now, when you have technological platforms that track the way claims are being processed, then you'll be able to tell if an STP or the same day claim goes beyond 24 hours. We know who is responsible. They will come to you, Alfred, how come this policy that is tagged as a same day claim is gone beyond 24 hours? Then Alfred needs to explain why this has been so. So there are already existing technological platforms that we can use to be able to enhance the claims experience so that insurance companies can redeem their image out there and delight the customer and do this. And you see, let me touch on the last bit. The first question that you asked, for all these technological advancements to be possible, it also depends on the people. So for every insurance company that is listening here, and especially for Coronation, if they want to use technology as a competitive advantage, the first thing that you do is to work on your people to accept the technology. Because if the people themselves are not using the technology and they're not accepting it, then your outside customers will not even accept it. Okay, so the people first, then you bring in the technology, then it will be able to make sense and translate into the customer centricity that we're looking for.
Yeah, I would just add that the research and development, basically, if the organization has set it up that we want, some people even time it, okay? If somebody starts the claim process, how long should it take? Now, these are all decisions that the organization can take, okay? If you start a process, I tell you that in 1 hour, we should be done with you, like, same day claim, for example. Okay, so, for maybe today, these are our processes for making a claim. Okay, now chief comes and say, guys, this is not going to work anymore. I want the person to be able to submit the claim in 30 minutes. Okay, now people must sit up now. So, okay, 30 minutes, how do we do it? So you have a sit around and then you digest it. You think through it. What is possible? How can we do it? We had a session with Google and somebody just brought a simple idea. So one of the top guys said, guys, how do you think we achieve things we do? So most of the things you see us do is just a thought that somebody brings. Then we sit around the table. Before we leave the table, we already have a solution. Okay, I believe that, if that's the way Coronation want to go, for example, then it means that new targets must be set. New, modus operandi must be set. Once they are set, a team must, be convened to sit and say, okay, the technologies are available, the processes we know, how can we shorten it from 3 days or 1 day or whatever to 1 hour? Okay, this is your own internal, decision. And once you achieve that and your people are all on board, then that's it. So I think some of the decisions really, they have to be internal. Okay, you have to make the decisions internal, and then the internal processes must also be put in place to support it. And then the customers come on later.
Thank you very much. So I'll take a last but one question before I come back to both panelists to give us their last word. But there's an interesting question here, which is a bit not in insurance, but in agri insurance. And someone is saying our market has a technical service providers playing a role in the index-based or the parametric agricultural insurance. For example, Ibisa and Bula. How can the Ghana Agricultural Insurance Pool, which is currently transitioned to the technical service providers, harness AI technology in its operations? So that's an interesting question from someone who is asking about how the Ghana Agricultural Insurance Pool can also leverage on this technical service providers as they harness AI technology in their operations.
Okay, Amanda, let me just quickly attempt to give a response to this. It might, well, Henry, it might not well be a complete answer that you're looking for, but we can draw lessons from the Kenyan market, where they have been able to leverage technology for quite some time now. And so when it comes to crop insurance, there's technology that is able to predict whether there's going to be drought, okay, or there's going to be rainfall, okay, and be able to harness the power of technology to be able to do some of these things. So as in Ghana, we also progress and we advance in the agricultural insurance sector. We can also leverage some of the lessons in these markets, like we have in Kenya, okay, and use some of these technologies to be able to advance what we are doing here. So yeah, the technology exists. All you need to look for is look at markets where they have harnessed these technologies already. So Kenya is a classic example where you're using AI technology to be able to predict some of these things. And also in terms of flooding, okay, drought, flooding, they are using this technology. So you can look, what I can do is I can do a little research, give it a coronation, and then they will forward it to you. You can follow up and then make some contacts and see how you can also learn from there as well.
Very much. Our last question for today is, how do organizations prepare for the future with this emerging trends and technology? Anthony, I'll come to you first. How do organizations prepare for the future?
Okay, so like I said from the beginning, I think that right now, if an organization don't want to be left out, okay, unfortunately, the way I'm seeing things, I wish that certain things have been implemented or pushed forward by the regulator, like as a national agenda. Okay, but we're not there yet. But if a company wants to prepare, like a typical example I gave, Chief can get up, one day and say, guys, from where things are going now, I want these deliverables to be made within this period of time. Okay, so for example, claims. I want claims, same day claims, it should be filed maximum 1 hour. Now, when the targets are set, it then, calls the teams to assemble and see what do we need to achieve that aim. Okay. And so now we say, okay, well, number one, we need the technology. Number two, we need the training of our people. And then we need to make the noise in the country. Okay. So I think that really it all starts with the vision. Okay. That, and of course, the vision is also dependent on knowledge. If the people don't know, nothing will happen. They will just sit down and do nothing. Okay. But if the knowledge comes, and the knowledge is available today, okay, so if they get themselves the knowledge, the requisite knowledge, then with that knowledge, they actually set up their goals, their objectives, what they want to achieve within a year, 2, 3, okay. Then with that, you are sure that within a given time frame, they can be ready. But if they don't know, they don't know. Okay, so I think people must get the knowledge they need, and then also, put in the preparation that they need, and that should be it. Yeah.
Add to this, how can organizations prepare for the future?
Well, I think we've said it We've said it all. And to add a little to what Anthony has said, apart from doing it organically, okay, where you set targets and you gather your people to want to change things, there's an option to collaborate. There's an option to partner with the insurtechs. And I always use EcoBank as a classic example when I'm in such discussions. When you take EcoBank, probably I spent too much time there, but currently EcoBank is not your typical traditional bank. EcoBank as a bank is a fintech, because internally they have developed their own sandbox. They've developed their own APIs that they can expose to fintechs to try new ideas and to try all these new ideas in this environment before it comes to the live environment. But the truth of the matter is that it was until recently that most insurance companies in Ghana started even having APIs. Even as we speak today, some insurance companies do not even have APIs to expose their core application. They don't. Okay, now there's no time. It's urgent. So if insurance companies or insurers are really serious about transforming themselves into the future to be able to meet Kofi and insure Kofi in the year 2030, then the best way for them is to partner and to collaborate, because then the insurtechs will come on board with better technology, cutting edge technology, to be able to transition them into the future.
Alfred, our time is fast spent, so I can't take any more questions. I would say thank you very much, but I'll have 30 seconds for each of you to give me your last words.
Well, I would say that for me, I'm excited, even though, I'm not in Alfred's domain. I'm just technology implementer. But I would tell you that, look, the way I see technology emerging right now, I'm looking at countries adapting policies, okay, because I'm looking at the bigger value, okay, for the country. I think that the earlier countries rise up and maximize technology, the better. Okay, so for insurance companies, because you have to take the initiative on your own first, I think that you should just rise. I think Alfred said something that we started something before the Bank of Ghana came on board, right?
Mobile money.
Yeah, mobile money. Yeah. So it's the same way. I mean, the knowledge is there. Okay. Why sit and wait? I think you just jump on and then maximize it. That's what I'll say,
Thank you.
But if the authorities would jump on board fast, that would be great.
Awesome. Alfred, your last words, please.
Thank you. So the future is already here. The technology that we saw Kofi exhibiting is already here. We just need the executives like Yao at Coronation to take a decision. That look, we want to be able to, we want to be able to insure Kofi in the year 2030. Okay, this is where we want to see Coronation, and they can start using the technology now, so that they can use. And let's not play games around this, because there's no difference between what Coronation is providing and what your competitors are providing. It's still it's still motor insurance. It's still home insurance. It's the same product. But then how do you distinguish yourself from your competitors? And you can only use technology as a competitive advantage. So if you're ready to make this big change, then yes, the future is yours. So thank you, Coronation, for giving me the opportunity to be able to share a little knowledge. And I'm so grateful that I've met Anthony, where I've also learned quite a lot from you as well. And from our listeners, I've also happy with the questions that you shared. And I hope the questions were able to, the answers that we provided or I provided, were able to meet halfway your expectation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Alfred. I have learned a lot. I have really gained a lot of knowledge from this. If you agree with me that you've also learned a lot, share with me your favorite emoji. I've not even finished. People have started sharing. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, my wonderful participants. I really appreciate. But just as Alfred and Anthony said, and someone just asked that, how can they make the whole claim process better? So did you just ask about how to make and enhance the claim process? I have some good news for you. Guess what? Coronation Insurance has a digital platform called the e-Coronation that offers a seamless insurance process where you can easily buy and renew your motor insurance, marine insurance, personal accident insurance, and professional indemnity insurance. So you get to enjoy the convenience of handling all your insurance needs from the comfort of your home. And guess what? We are meeting Kofi in 2030. Coronation Insurance, we are ready already. We are meeting Kofi in 2030. So we are meeting Kofi in the comfort of his home. So if you want that seamless experience, you want to enjoy your claims without any hassle, then Coronation Insurance has that platform for you. So just visit ecoronation.com to have a feel of this digital transformation. Visit ecoronation.com to have a feel of this digital transformation. And we want you to have a little feel of it. Stay tuned for this video.
Are you ready to safeguard your career and secure your professional future? Coronation presents Professional Indemnity Insurance, your shield against claims arising from errors, omissions, or negligence in your services. But how do you ensure you have this essential protection? It's simple. Follow these easy steps to secure your coverage. Step 1. Log on to www.ecoronation.com. Navigate to Buy Insurance and select the Professional Indemnity tab. Step 2. Fill out the brief form with your professional details and insurance requirements. Enter your name, mobile number, email address, a full description of your activity, country, years of experience, and select your start date, which will automatically give you your end date. Review your coverage options and select the plan that best suits your needs. Next, upload your national ID and professional certificate ID. Save your information to proceed. Step 3. Complete the payment securely online. Choose your preferred payment mode, mobile money, Visa, or MasterCard. If paying via mobile money, select your provider and enter your mobile money number. Review the summary of details before initiating payment. Once payment is successful, click to verify. Step 4. Download your document. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your career. Protect your future. Get professional indemnity insurance with Coronation today.
Thank you very much, Amanda. And thank you, Alfred and Anthony, for the great insight you shared with us. I would say hashtag Meet Kofi 2023 or 2030. So hashtag Meet Kofi in 2030. Now 2030 is just around the corner. We all see how the days fly these days. So 2030 is not just far, it's just around here. And so the future of insurance is all about a customer experience. And this is how we'll be able to meet Kofi in 2030. The good thing to share with you is that we at Coronation did take cognizance of this future years back. And in that regard, we started developing our new digital strategy, which is geared towards the provision of all the digital transformation that we've spoken about, for example, the AI, the telematics, and other things. And before the end of the year, we'll be implementing some of the digital transformations that we are already, putting in place. So there will be changes in our operations. There will be changes in the way we interact with our customers. There will be changes in the way we provide our claims experience, and also from the underwriting perspective. In fact, we do have a digital claims platform where you can lodge a claim and upload your claims details, and we'll pick it digitally and then continue with the process. In addition to that, now you get to know that one of the key aspects of insurance is about risk management. What we have, it's the iInspect. iInspect is a platform where when you insure your vehicle with us comprehensive-wise, we send you a link. And through that link, you can actually upload what we call the pre-accident pictures. In other words, the state of the vehicle at the time of inception. So that takes away any conflict that could arise in the time of a claim. So when we are putting you on cover, we actually know the condition of your vehicle. That's what you call the eye inspect. That is one of our transformational, initiatives. But I'm excited about this webinar because, like I said, it's just the beginning of the conversation. There'll be more series about this. The agenda is actually to see how we can transform the industry, how we can transform the industry in the interest of the customers. And like we said, it is hashtag Meet Kofi in 2030. And that for us is a takeaway from today's session. Thank you everyone for joining us this morning. And I believe you've all had a very, very insightful experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yao. Hashtag Meet Kofi in 2030. And if you really want to meet Kofi in 2030, then as an insurance company, you need to be customer-centric. You need to start with the customer. You need to partner with insurtechs. And also you need to analyze your data and predict your customers' needs. And we have some comments here that says, great initiative, Coronation. Yes, thank you very much. And such an insightful discussion. Looking forward to intriguing future of insurance. Thank you very much. If you agree with me that this session has been very informative, you've gained a lot of experience and knowledge, then flood the screen with a hand of applause. Like flood the screen till the screen can't take it anymore. Yes, thank you very much. And as I said, if you want that seamless experience and you want to experience the life that Kofi is already experiencing, though we are all waiting for 2030, Coronation Insurance has already started and is giving you that peace of mind that our policies are designed to be affordable and comprehensive and to protect your asset and give you the peace of mind. And with Coronation Insurance, to be able to even have your claim so seamlessly, as I said, visit ecoronation.com to have a feel of the digital transformation. And then you can also submit your motor insurance claims in minutes with the Coronation Insurance Claims Portal. Just visit www.claims-gh.com.ng. Visit www.claims-gh.coronation.ng and you would have that seamless experience that Kofi has already started enjoying. And if you're wondering where Coronation Insurance is located, you can find the head office of Coronation Insurance Ghana Limited at 35 Aviation Road Airport Residential Area. And you can reach us on 0302-772-606. I take it again, 0302-772-606 or 0308-249-068. I take it again, 0302-49068. Also, we are social. We've taken technology very serious as Coronation Insurance. So you can visit our website at www.coronation.ng and on Facebook, Coronation Insurance Ghana, on Instagram, Coronation GH, on LinkedIn, Coronation Insurance Ghana, and on Twitter, Coronation Ghana. And those in Kumasi, we didn't leave you out. There's a physical location of Coronation Insurance in Kumasi at Asokwa, the airport road in Kumasi. So visit, if you are in Kumasi or its environs, feel free to visit the Kumasi branch to enjoy that seamless experience and that peace of mind that we are all looking forward to. And Kofi has already started enjoying it. So to conclude, we want to say thank you very much to our panelists. We say thank you very much. You've been super, 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 super amazing. And to the Managing Director of Coronation Insurance, Yao, we appreciate you. And to Coronation Insurance and the team, we say this is a wonderful initiative and thank you very much for putting this together. And to my wonderful audience who won't stop sharing the hand of applause, I appreciate all of you. And I'll say this webinar wouldn't have been possible without you. I'm happy that I was part of this wonderful session. And my name is Amanda Akushi. I'm a customer experience management consultant, and I have been your moderator for this session. I look forward to seeing you on another discussion, and thank you and have a wonderful day. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again, Amanda.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Amanda. Thank you,
Thank you very much,
Chief.
everyone.
Thank you, other people.